From talking about the reality of God in his own life, David is joined by Adrian and George for this next programme, in which they focus on their own response to suffering.
Cancer. Now, David, you were ordained in, what was it, 59?
59, yes.
And I'm perfectly certain that thousands have said to you, well now, you've been doing your stuff, you've been preaching the gospel, you've been doing the Lord's work, and now he sent this. Now, what about it?
Yes, a lot of people have asked that question. Sometimes they've been quite angry with God, you know. Why has God allowed this?
Yes. Yes.
I think probably a couple of things I've often said to other people, I've had now to say to myself.
Yes.
The first is that the most helpful question to ask is not why, but what. In other words, not why has God allowed this to happen, because if God's God, there can be a million and one things, you know, that we'll never understand this side of heaven. And therefore we have to teach our mind and our heart to say, I don't know, I don't know.
Yes, there's no answer here.
Quite.
No.
But the question what, I think, is helpful, because what is God saying to me in this?
Yeah.
And I found that I've had to look at my priorities again, about my values in life, my relationships with my family, and many other things like that, and reassess my priorities. That's been important.
I think that's absolutely true, because, well, you know, we've talked, and when this happened to my Alex, I said to myself, probably at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yes.
you know, I really have tried to do your work, and what is this? Now, what are you saying to me? I know you're God, I know you love me, I know you love Alex, I know you love the rest of the family. She's done all this. People, in the letters, people say, and that makes it so much harder. You know, here's somebody who for 40 years has been helping other people. Why? And I think two things help me so enormously. One is that no matter what happens, he'll never let us go. And second, although there's no answer here, he himself suffered. He understands suffering. He doesn't sit up there like the Greek gods and just watching what's going on, but he suffered. He understands suffering, so that he's suffering with you. He understands loneliness. He understands all the things. He understands people being angry with him, as I certainly am at times. Why should this happen to me? And then, of course, as you know, all the little things that happen as a result of suffering when the beloved's not there, and the things you take for granted. And then, as you just said to us, you reassess your priorities.
And has, in fact, what's happened to you, George, and to Alex, has that changed your relationship with God, affected your faith?
I think, to be absolutely honest, I thought listening to David the other night was absolutely right. At first, you were simply knocked off your perch. I mean, it happens to other people. And then, of course, she was going into hospital, but not yet. No doubt something would happen. Then you had to face it. And then I think, I'm in the middle of it all now, so it's really too soon to say, but there's no question about it. It does give you a terrific shake. And you know, I loved that. It helped me so much. I think it's the first text I ever preached from, years and years ago, that everything may be shaken. The things which cannot be shaken may remain. It's like a chap taking a sieve, and all the, you know, the fiddle-faddle and the stuff you wear, and what I call the paraphernalia of being a clergyman, is shaken. And what remains is the love of God.
I think that's the experience Bridget and I have had. I mean, we've had several ups and downs, but what's left is real, isn't it? And I feel we've been enriched by every little bit of hardship we've encountered because we've come through it. Mind you, that's easy to say when you haven't got
yes,
well,
cancer, of course.
I think what I found helpful is also, it's not just the situation, but the way you react to it that counts. Because I've got the cancer, now either I get full of self-pity, which actually becomes a big problem for other people as well as myself, or else I find the love and peace of God, which can transform the actual sickness I've got. Not our situation, but the way that we react to it.
Yes.
And I am responsible for my response.
Yes, and where we lost a child, now we realise, all when Veronica Jane left us, the extraordinary, exactly what you said, it was the way that one's own wife reacted, and you reacted to the children and other people. You felt something positive had come out of this mystery. And now, of course, the wonderful thing is that it was a blue baby, and now if you have a blue baby, be cured. It couldn't then. That God was all the time showing us more through medical research, and I was able to claim that as part of his promises. But you learned.